Welcome, friends. It is I, Hi-Rez Studios, and it's time for the vlog, and you're going to see an interesting game. Artemis Solo. Now, if certain things happened, this would actually be a video on the actual, matches instead of as a vlog footage. The reason why it's vlog footage is because of, well, I'll explain that in a bit. So, first up, let's talk about... I guess that's something to talk about for Smite. There's nothing really big. The Loki patch, or talk about the Loki patch. So, okay. So, the last 2 weeks have been aggravating. Let's see here. We streamed Smite like 7-8 times the last 2 weeks. Oh, and I raged about half those times. 4 days at least I raged and was really pissed off. Because they were really, really frustrating games. I had DCs, intentional feeds, just harassment. Just nothing was really going for some of these days. They were just really annoying. Other times it was just, I'm doing really well and my teammates are doing terrible. Or I'm doing okay and my teammates are doing terrible. And it's just... my problem is I expect too much, I think, from my teammates. Sometimes they do amazing and sometimes they just completely let me down. And that's my problem, is I'm expecting too much. Like, I'm bringing you guys in and I'm just expecting too much. I expect, like, better shots or just better intuition and better understanding. But the fact of the matter is, you guys are watching me because you're learning the game. Even at level 30, you guys are still learning the game or still have nuances to understand. While I've been playing it for 3 freaking years and I know way too much, so I know why a shot should be like this or like that. But it doesn't mean I know everything either. Like, sometimes I don't know the best way to play a god. And maybe I'll make mistakes or someone will do something that looks good. I'm like, oh, okay, that's cool. That's something I should be doing. But I expect too much. And sometimes it's just really frustrating when I carry really hard. There is a chalk game we will never see, where I go like 20-something and like 6. I carried the balls out of that as best I could. Unfortunately, there were teammates who were not on point in that game, and the game went to like 40 minutes or so. Like, Chalk can get kills, he can do a lot of wreckage, but he can't win the game. He can't carry the game outside of just killing things. He needs his teammates to get the work done for the objectives, and that was not on point. So it was extremely frustrating. It was like a 40-50 minute game. We had the win, except my teammates did the engagement with the Titan incorrectly. We had Kali on our team. The Titan's about to die. She's at half HP. She's getting ganged up on. She needs to hit it like 2 more times. She does not ult. She dies. The enemy team rallies up the next minute, because everyone's dead at this point, and we lose. What happened is, at the last minute, and like the last couple minutes of the game, I'm like, okay, we got to go take care of this situation over here. My team splits up anyway, and they go for a Titan rush with Phoenix weapon minions. And they get it down from 100 to like 98%. So good on them. I might have been wrong in that situation. Maybe I should have been with them. But at the last 2%, one of them dies. The only one still alive is Kali. She has her ult up. She never uses it. And the Titan does not go down. She dies. And then I get swallowed up because we're separated. And then they just come down and kill our Titan. And I said the F word like 50 times on stream at the end of the match. I was not happy. I was absolutely livid. I was just not a happy camper about it. And just, shit. The thing about losing because of teammates is it's really frustrating, because what can you learn from that? And the real lesson is not a gameplay lesson here for me. It is a lesson more inward, and that is, I just let that go. Just let it go. Just let that go. It was unfortunate. We should have won that game, clearly. We should have won that game 30 minutes ago if everyone played it right. But I'm bringing in people who are still, they're not the best. Anyone watching me is looking to improve in the game, which means you guys experiment a lot. Like, I've noticed that. You guys do experimental stuff a lot while playing with me. I'd like to just win, but you guys do an experimentation, which is something that I, promote, right? So I should expect things to be a bit shaky. Am I wording this at all correctly here? Am I blaming my viewers? I don't mean, if that's the way it's coming off, I don't mean it that way. It's just, it's on me at the end, is what I'm saying. Like, it's on me, a lot of things that happen. It's also on me how I deal with it. This is what's important. I bring in the viewers with me into these games, right? And I think it's fine for me to criticize my viewers' gameplay so that they can get better. But if I'm just flipping out, it's not helping anybody. It's not helping anyone at all. Now, if I'm playing solo queue and there's a bunch of randoms, I get pissed off. Still, I shouldn't be getting pissed off. Got to work on that. But God, randoms can be really annoying, especially when we do 4-mans or 3-mans, and the two guys or the one person extra is just obnoxious and terrible. It's really weird how we get that like very often. It's like to balance out a 4-man or a 3-man, they give you really bad people. Weird. We've constantly gotten really bad extra people, which is why I've been trying to just do 5-mans. Because even if we go up against a pro team, at least, you know, I have a better chance of, I think I can rely on my viewers a lot better than the solo queue I can on a solo queue. I worded that all correctly there. But honestly, obviously, I need to stop raging as much as I have been, because in the last couple months, I think I've raged maybe 5, 6, 8 times. Smite, we're talking about Smite in a couple months. I raged 4 times in 8 streams. That's very bad, which means I need to work on that. That's not good. That's not good at all. Very bad. I need to be critical in a better way. At the end of the day, what am I doing here, right? I'm playing a game. I should be having fun, and I should be helping you guys have fun. I will still get disappointed. I'll probably still get frustrated, but the anger and the rage needs to stop. It really does, and I need to find a way to check myself when that happens, because when I'm pissed off, you can't stop me like that. No, you can't stop me. It can't be stopped. It's rage. You can't just stop rage. Well, others cannot stop your rage. You have to stop the rage yourself, and that's the hardest part. A person who's in rage, no one can stop you. The only one who can stop you is yourself or time. Time is usually the one that works, but that's something you can't always do if you're an entertainer like me. You need to find a way to check yourself, and right now I don't know how to do that. But hopefully the next stream I figure that out, or I just don't rage. We'll see. The Artemis game? You're gonna see I didn't even explain everything. So the Artemis game, I go into a solo queue, because of course I did. Guan Yu and Sobek duo lane. That's right, Guan Yu won ADC. I'm like, wait, what? I wanted to go chalk in the solo lane. I'm like, wait, what, you want to do what? So with 2 seconds left, I scramble and click 100 and click anything. I get Artemis for solo. I'm like, oh no. Oh no. And it's Artemis solo against Anubis solo. And in this fight, it's really infuriating because I know exactly what Anubis is going to do because I play Anubis so much. And despite knowing what he's going to do, I still fudge it up a little bit. I know he's going to go for a Mummify ultimate, and despite that, I know how to dodge it, and I know that I need to do my ult first when I have my ult, and I try to do that, and I still fail it. I don't know if it's because my 120 ping or what, but like, I do the ult animation goes off, but I get Mummified first, so the ult doesn't even happen. And then I just die to Anubis, and it's like, come on! Come on, what? You kidding me? And this happens multiple times. And sometimes I get it off correctly and the ult goes off first, I catch him, and then I kill him. Like, that's what the fight should have been more. And so it's an infuriating fight against Anubis. But the match is not over. This is a 40-minute match, everyone. There's a reason why you see the length of time on this thing. I turn it the hell up, guys. I turn it up. I turn this game around. Also, Guan Yu, Sobek, that duo sucked pretty bad. You'll see it. It was not a good play. It was not cool. It's also really frustrating because it was a 3-man doing it. It is Hades, Guan Yu, and Sobek. They're a 3-man. They did this crap, and I had to be stuck with it. Look, experimental stuff can work, but you need a team that trusts you to do it. That's why 5-mans are better for that. You need your team to trust you. It is infuriating when your team does not trust you, which is why it was really annoying. I went and did an Artemis game, Artemis jungle, and I go 3-0 at the start. Unfortunately, the duo feeds. Unfortunately, the mid gets wrecked. The solo actually holds out pretty well. But we lose the game, and at the end of the game, the support puts up the excuse that our hunters just can't jungle. And that pissed me off. It pisses me off because I go 3-0 with it. I can make it work. Hunters are not the best junglers in the game, but if there was not a duo feed, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I was hunter, if I was a jungler, if I was anything. A big feed in the dual lane makes it really hard for any god in the jungle 3-0 to pull it out. They can try to carry pretty well, but it's still difficult. Artemis doesn't make it that easy, but I was doing work with her. But when everything crumbles around you, it's just not as easy to do. So the excuse that hunters are just not great at jungling, especially someone like Artemis who doesn't have the best gank, despite the fact her boar can create great ganks, it is a shitty excuse for me, in my opinion, and it just pisses me off, that excuse. Because if you're playing with me, whatever you're doing, whatever I'm doing, it's a 5-man. I'm gonna believe in whatever you're doing because I'm trusting you. So I need you to trust what I'm doing. That is what I feel about when I'm doing a 5-man. Whatever weird idea I'm doing, you need to trust it. Whatever weird idea you want to try to do, I need to trust that. And that's what's going to happen there. It's a 5-man for that. Now, if it's solo queue, I get not trusting something. I get that. I did not trust this Guan Yu Sobek duo, and I was right about it. But I was in such a bad mood from other games and from just that game in general because they didn't say anything. They just did it. I'm like, wait, what? I had to switch really quick. I thought it was a mistake, and then, no, they did it on purpose. They were obnoxious to play with, and so I was not in a good mood. If I was in a better mood somehow to just work through that and just try to win this game and just play well and just keep the smiles up and all stuff like that, this would have been an interesting game to have up as an actual match. But I could not do that. I just did not have it in me after. This was like hour 5 of playing Smite as well, trying to get content. It's been a frustrating while I'm getting content. I don't know what's going on, but I'm just having some really bad games. Now let's talk about the summer finals. Barracuda. He does not have food poisoning. He has something else. He's been talking on Twitter that he feels like crap, but he hasn't been purging. Like, that's like throwing up and other bodily things. He hasn't been doing that. He's just been in intense pain. So that's not food poisoning. So that's something else. So everyone's worried as to what that could be. This is the morning before the matches. So the Cloud9 match is about to start. So after this vlog, I'll go check that out. But Cloud9 versus Paradigm. Paradigm was really good. People are trying to say, no, it didn't matter if Barracuda wasn't there or not. It was important because Barracuda Game 3 was really important in that match. They played well, and that went really well there. Game 4, Barracuda said he ran out of adrenaline. He just had no more steam left, and he showed it because he was just making a bunch of big mistakes in Game 4, and then they lost it. For me, that was 1-1. I would like to have seen more play. It would have been great if Barracuda didn't get sick before games 1 and 2. If we got to see the real match at the start, that would have been great, because games 3 and 4 were amazing. Team Solomid versus Fnatic, those were pretty good matches. Just the first game, though. It was the second game. There was no kills. Like, this is just a thing that happens in pros, where both sides are just doing really well, but they just don't get kills. And it's like 9 minutes in, I'm like, okay, guys, if they get a kill before 10 minutes, everyone's getting a skin, pretty much. Like, and 9:55, a bloodbath happens. At 9:55, 6 people die. Like, a fight just happens. Everyone dies. Like, oh, whoa, okay, alright. Check the chat. Okay, no one noticed. Okay, I'm good. Alright, I'm good. Okay, good. No. Skins will be given away in the future based on that. But, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. TSM versus Fnatic, they talked a lot of smack at each other. They gave it to each other pretty well in the matches in the end. Of course, skip the next 10 seconds. TSM wins it. I'm saying skip the next 10 seconds so you don't 10 seconds so you don't hear who won it. Then again, if you're listening to this, it's a bit after the summer finals. Come on, maybe you know the result. But they win it. Good job to them. And get to see how they do in the next round. Titan versus Paradigm. I think Titan's Titan, though, so I don't know. Paradigm did have a good showing, and they're warmed up, so I think it's going to be a good fight. AFK versus TSM, another one. Like, these guys have fought a few times, so I think it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be an amazing round, second day, for sure. And the finals are going to be huge, because the winners of those, it's going to be EU versus NA once again. That was one thing I did not... There was a lot of EU pride with the Paradigm versus C9 win. And I felt like it was a bit empty, though, just because they had to beat a team that wasn't really there. And it's not fun to beat a team when they're not at their fullest. Like, it was good to see Barracuda there, but he wasn't 100%. It's like winning a 5v4. It's just not as good. And so it's unfortunate that's how that ends up. So, well, we'll see them maybe battle out again in the future sometime. Well, it's just too bad. It's just too bad. And then, of course, I picked C9 for the whole thing. Until Barracuda got sick, then I was like, well, I'm screwed now. And then AFK for 2. Second, I think it's going to be Titan and AFK in the end. I think it's going to be them, and then I think it's going to be close. There's no way I could possibly guess who's going to win it. I think all the teams are really good. They're all top-notch teams. But I think it's going to be Titan and AFK in the end. And, well, you'll see By the time this vlog comes out, you'll know who the hell won. I'll know who the hell won. I think Titan AFK, though, I think they're just really good. If they lose, it'll be to 5 series losses, I feel. I think it's going to be 3 and 2 losses if they lose in the second day. It's going to go to 5 for both of those fights. And then the finals, I don't know. It could go 3-1, it could go 3-2. I do not see it being a 3-0 for any of these matches at all. They're all top-notch teams. It's not like the SWC where some of the teams were just not up to par. All these teams are really good. And the best thing about watching the pros play is, of course, just seeing how they do things and seeing what could be useful to take into ranked and casual. But what's important, though, is just because Freya and Bellona did work in pros does not mean it's going to work out in ranked and casual like you think it will. It required good coordination. Like, the thing about the pro setups are, if you want to do pro setups, you got to play 5-mans. You don't play ranked or casual for that. You play 5-man. And the reason for that is because those setups, as good as they are individually, or as a team here and there, like duos or whatever, it's the communication between everybody. The pro communication is really what's key to any of these setups. They can show off how good a god can be, but there's still great coordination coming out of everything they're doing. There's great calls happening, just everything coming together very well. Oh, 2 things from the Cloud9. Cloud9 round 1, when they got baited at the Fire Giant, was an obvious bait and you could see it. They were just gathering up the Fire Giant, and Cloud9 just came in separated. It was obvious what they were waiting to do there, and it was like, oh god, they made a big mistake there. And then Cloud9 round 4, when they did not see the Fire Giant, was insane. Because the rule I always tell you guys is, if you don't see anybody, objectives are happening. And that means check them. And it's crazy how Cloud9 had no idea Fire Giant happened. None. It's like, you don't see anybody. If you don't see anybody, if you see one person, maybe 2, you gotta consider objectives. If you see no one, and if you're looking at the ward coverage, there was not enough ward coverage to tell them where everyone is. They had no clue where anyone was. That meant Fire Giant. That meant Gold Fury. But they didn't attack on that. I guess they were fatigued since it was game 4. And the rest was history for them right there. That's it. Alright, so I talked about a plenty of Smite. Channel's looking pretty good. We're going to have Chalk Guide Monday. No, Bracken Guide Monday. Chalk Guide Thursday or Friday. Jungle Guide came out on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember. So we got guides coming out. It's going to be... I got to consider if I want to do Chang'e next or not. I'm going to play Chang'e solo for a bit. Like, is she really different now? Is she the same? I feel like she's the same. I don't think she needs a new guide. So I might not do a new guide for her. If I do, it'll just be phoning it in, theoretically, because I've already done her, but maybe revisiting her is a good thing to do, so we'll see if I do another guide on her. After her is Cupid, and Cupid's going to be fun to do. Cupid will be very fun to do. He is definitely ADC. You can consider him solo, just because of his bees. You could probably do it okay. And jungle, the same thing. I think solo and jungle... he can probably do it okay, but I wouldn't recommend it, so I might only say ADC for Cupid for sure there. And then we don't have any D-Gods and E-Gods, do we? No, we don't. And after Cupid comes, what, Fenrir? I think it's Fenrir comes next. So there you go with that. And, okay, so the match isn't over. Well, I'll talk about this really quick. Couple minutes on this. Recently, a friend kind of went off the deep end. It was very concerning, and I don't really know where they are right now with things. But it's very concerning, and I'm worried a little bit. But the problem with internet is you're too far away to really help people sometimes. Especially when they're deep in it. But you can try, or try to preempt it a little bit, I guess. What am I saying here? As some of you know, not all of you know, because we're constantly getting new people, is we nearly lost me a while back, a few years back. I got really close to the deep end and nearly ended my life. It's very, talking like just, it almost happened. Very close. Very, very close. The only reason why I'm still here is because I gave myself enough time to think about it. I gave myself enough time to think about what it would do to my family and everyone that cared about me. So, though I made progress, I did not fully do it. Which is good, because I'm still alive. Other fact, I have a cousin who actually went through with it and survived, and they're trying to recover in their life as well. That's my cousin. She makes mistakes, she makes good choices here and there, she's still working through it. I think I'm doing better than where I was before. I definitely think I am. Still have depression lingering all the time. It happens, but depression is depression. You can only deal with it as best you can. Why am I talking about this? Because you see a lot of people get depressed. See it. Sometimes you're the one who's getting depressed. There's a lot of depression these days. There's a lot of it. And the best combat for that I have learned is talking about it. I'm not going to talk about it specifically for me, but I mean, not talking about depression, but what is bothering you. Venting. It feels like a lot of people are pent up these days. I get pent up too. Like, everyone's just really pent up, and then it explodes, and then shit happens. That's what it feels like a lot. It happens. To my fortune, or fortunately, we have prevented a few suicides. We have. We have 3 confirmed preventions. And we have been emailed a few times with people asking for advice or them venting, and then we say some things back. And that's good. That's important. Talking about things really helps. Sometimes you're just in a shitty situation. Sometimes you just need to vent about it. But it's not the end. Shitty situations happen. Shitty situations can last for a couple of years. But eventually you can climb out of it. Eventually you can get out of it. Look where... Personal life. Okay, let's see here. Those who know... Let's go real quick. Let's see here. I was at the top of the world at a point. I had my neuroscience job. I had a girlfriend I loved very much. Then I got abused by my boss. He let me go. After he used me up, he let me go. I felt like crap over that. I did not feel very great over it. At the same time, girlfriend breaks up with me because she doesn't feel like I'm going to go anywhere. And so, massive depression. I've been depressed for like 10 years, but it's been held down for the most part. But it went huge, and then we nearly lost me. Now I'm back in school. I'm going to get 3 degrees by the end of, in a couple months, maybe in a year. I'm going to have 3 degrees to my name, so I'm going to have 5 total. Because, of course, I had degrees prior. But I'm going to have all these degrees, and I'm going to have the city looking at me. And my dad's already telling me how, like, they are already looking at me. They're waiting to see what I'm going to do. They see me as some sort of potential big shot in the future. And there's a lot of eyes on me. So I'm making great progress career-wise for myself in the world. And that's good. And that could have not happened. And that wouldn't be happening if I took myself out 2 years ago. So that's great. That's good. You got to claw your way out of it, I guess. And it takes time to get to that. To do that, and sometimes you have to help yourself get out of it, whatever. I'm saying a jumble here. What's important, though, is keeping yourself going. And you don't have to do it alone. You never really have to do it alone. There's resources, of course, but there's us as well. I had this channel to distract myself with. I had Jinx to be a friend with going forward to keep going. And you guys can use us if you ever really get stressed out. You can talk to us. You can email us over at scarfplace@gmail.com. You can email us there. Whatever your problems are, if you need advice or just need to vent to somebody, you can do that. We've had people do that before, so I know that there are viewers out there who do have some problems, and if we can help, we will help. We can listen, and we can say some things or give advice on dealing with it, especially because we've been there. I've been there. I've been at the deep end. I know what it looks like. I know damn well what it looks like. So I can talk. I can give advice on trying to mitigate what can happen there. So that's a thing. That's a thing. There you go. That is the vlog. Thank you everyone for watching. This Artemis game is getting crazy, as you can tell. There's still a little bit more to it. What else here? Thank you for watching. Thank you for comments. Thank you for likes. Not a big fan of dislikes, but they still help our dislikes still help our stats. So you can dislike if you really want. You should hit like instead though. Subs, follows, watching the streams, telling people about us. Thank you for everything as always. And thank you to Jinx for all of her hard work. She's doing really good stuff. And then, yeah, thanks to everybody. Thank you. There you go. That right there is the vlog. Check out the rest of this art game because it still gets crazy. And I have fun doing this vlog. Hope you have fun watching. That's what's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.
An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding. I will settle this down! An enemy has been slain. You make them your waifu. I will shoot you down! An enemy has been slain. You make them your waifu. I will end this when I die! Blockbuster containment shut down! An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu.
This gets to the point.
Smells like someone's been cooking up a killing spree. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. You can't outrun my double kill.
You have slain an enemy. You really pulled their biscuit.
An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding. An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding. Double kill.
Get out of this. I've got to be more careful.
An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu.
Always be prepared.
An ally has been slain. A teammate has started. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. Rampage! Enemy team is bunch of babies. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu.
Get out of this.
I die on dry land.
An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding. An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding.
Your middle tower is under
This gets
attack.
to the point.
An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu.
Get out of this.
Just like that training that movie. They're unstoppable!
Your team has destroyed a middle enemy tower.
Smells like someone's been cooking up a killing spree. An ally has been slain. A teammate has started feeding. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu.
Get out of this.
This can't be happening. Smells like someone's been cooking up a killing spree.
You have slain. Biscuit.
That's how it's done.
Your team has destroyed a left enemy tower.
Keep watching, Lord. Get out of this.
An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. An enemy has been slain. You made them your waifu. Rampage! Enemy team is bunch of babies.
Your team has destroyed a right enemy tower.
Get out of
This.